Cly Entertainment has spent the last 2 decades establishing a reputation for creating games that are as mechanically dense as they are visually striking. Whether it's the unforgiving survival loops of Don't Starve, or the intricate colony management of Oxygen Not Included, the studio has a rare talent for blending high concept art with incredibly deep gameplay systems. With their latest project, Rotwood, Cly has shifted their focus to the roguelite brawler genre. This isn't just another button masher, it's a vibrant, chaotic and rhythmic adventure centered on hunting corrupted beasts through a twisted forest. After being announced on Nintendo Switch 2 during the latest Indie World showcase, it was shadow dropped just a few hours after, and after another 12 hours, I'm ready to give my thoughts on it. The forests might be infested, but is the game itself a blooming success, or is it rotten to the core? Let's find out. The story kicks off with what can only be described as the worst science experiment in history. Something goes boom, an eruption of corruption tears through the land, and the world is instantly smothered by the rot. Our heroes attempt to escape on a makeshift aircraft called the Damsfly, but in true roguelite fashion, it crashes, scattering the villagers across a monster-infested biomes. Your job as a hunter is part rescue mission, part janitorial duty. You aren't just fighting for glory, you're fighting to get the blacksmith back to his anvil and the chef back to his pots. Woodhaven starts as a desolate, quiet clearing, but as you pull your friends out of the foliage, it transforms into a bustling hub where you can chat, train, upgrade gear and skills, and prepare for the roguelike goodness on the horizon. At the core of Rotwood lies a combat system that rewards precision and offers some fantastically smooth, responsive and intuitive hybrid combat that feels like classic side-scrolling brawler mixed with the deliberate nature of an action game. While at times you may be able to rely on spamming overpowered attacks, or even just auto attacks early on, it does slowly ramp up and require a bit more of a nuanced and tactical approach. There aren't any difficulty settings, so you get what you get, and if you get stuck, you may need to grind a little to upgrade your current gear, or just keep practicing those mechanics. The game's combat is served up in the form of 5 weapon types, all with distinct gameplay, and weapons within those subsets have their own abilities and upgrade bonuses. Before venturing into the Rotwood, you will select your preferred weapon and gear loadout. Some weapons emphasize speed and agility, allowing you to dart around or teleport and deliver quick bursts of damage. While some hunters choose speed, others opt for the heavy arsenal designed to stagger and displace the forest's most dangerous creatures. The cannon stands out here as the most volatile build. It offers unparalleled offensive pressure, but leaves almost zero room for error. Success with these heavy weapons is a game calculated of risk. The roguelike layers are further deepened by the power-up system. As you push deeper into the scenarios, you'll encounter upgrades that fundamentally change your combat, and you really can't plan for it. You may go in wanting to try a specific build, but you get what you're given, and you have to think on the fly and adapt as you choose from one of 2 skills periodically throughout the levels. You will also come across safe rooms, with merchants, paid upgrades, and potion refills. Because these abilities are discovered randomly, the core of Rotwood's strategy isn't just about the gear you have, but how effectively you can pivot your playstyle to match unexpected synergies you will likely end up with along the way. In regards to the different weapons and builds, the game does a great job at offering incentives to practice all of them via quests and challenges, and by the end of the game, you are perfectly trained in all of them, and when you find yourself up against it, you know the perfect weapon for your next attempt. Boss fights serve as both the end of a map and the gate to unlocking the next. These encounters are bigger and more intricate versions of regular enemies, featuring multiple attack phases unlocked at different health percentages, and offer an array of either unique or powered up mechanics you may have seen before. Every boss is named and has its own unique style, ranging from monstrous beasts to corrupted guardians, and they look cracking. And for the most part, the challenge is perfect for the average player. Defeating a boss not only grants valuable rewards, but also opens up new paths to progress your character further. And after you eventually complete the main story after about 12 hours or so, there is an even tougher challenge awaiting you. The Super Frenzy encounters provide brutal endgame fights designed for highly skilled players, and they can be brutal, even with the best gear. The roguelike structure of Rotwood is built around the hub world of Woodhaven, a small sanctuary that serves as your base of operations. As you complete runs and gather a resource known as tephra, you can invest in various NPCs who provide essential services. You might rescue a blacksmith who can forge new versions of the weapons with unique passive traits, or a chef who can prepare meals that provide permanent stat boosts for your next run. The progression feels meaningful because it's tied to both your character's power and your own skill. While you can certainly grind for better gear, the game's Super Frenzy tiers eventually reach a point where gear alone won't save you. You must learn the nuances of every biome, from the poison-filled bogs to the crystalline caves, and as with any good roguelike, you will be getting familiar with it as you die over and over again. But it's in this hub where you will upgrade your armor and weapons from materials collected on runs, increase your potion count in core stats, and socialize with NPCs, and gifting them to increase friendship levels. Nothing here reinvents the wheel, but everything on offer is well designed, stable, and intuitive. The crafting in particular, it's a simple system, but it satisfyingly opens up additional build possibilities, encouraging players to experiment with different playstyles. While solo play is completely viable and definitely fun, Rotwood truly excels in cooperative yet chaotic multiplayer. Up to 4 players can join together, either locally or online, to face Rotwood's meanest. And it is here where it becomes a lively and chaotic brawler filled with overlapping attacks and frantic dodging. Despite the unmitigated chaos, the game remains easy to read and incredibly fun. Cly's unique visual design ensures that movements, effects, and animations are simple to follow at all times, and it's truly great. Visually, Rotwood exhibits the unmistakable Cly aesthetic, and it's gorgeous. It's vibrant, it's striking, and as cartoonish as it may look, there are fantastic dark and gritty details and fidelity to it, and I can easily see it appealing to kids and adults alike. Although set in a land riddled in corruption and chaos, the game is rarely hopeless. Instead, it maintains a playful tone that manages to keep the townsfolk charming and endearing, while also highlighting enemies' creepiness. The animations are smooth and expressive, with exaggerated movements, and easy to understand but hard to master abilities. The creature variety can occasionally feel a little lacking at times, but there is just about enough variety to keep it interesting, but they do occasionally just reskin before seeing enemies in the new biome's themes. It's not a deal breaker, just something you will notice as time goes on. As for performance, for the most part, it's exactly where you would expect it to be. As good as the game looks, it's not an overly taxing game. It looks fantastic, and for the vast majority of cases, it feels great too. In the hub, it's a consistent 60 frames per second at all times, and while I was kind of expecting this, it's still great to see. And moving on to the combat, we see the exact same output, and it feels amazingly smooth and responsive to play, and picking this up in handheld is an absolute treat. In some regards, it really does remind me of Absalom, and let's face it, that isn't bad company to be held in. Price-wise, Rotwood is currently sitting at £24.99. That's €28.99, $29.99 in the US, and $38.99 in Canada. Now, this is just about what I was expecting. Maybe slightly more if I'm to be honest, but all in all, I believe it's a fair price for a 12-hour campaign and plenty more replayability with co-op. If it weren't announced on the indie, it probably would have been released with a small sale to gain attention, but hey, it's a pretty damn solid title with a hell of a lot of fun to offer, and at this price, I would still recommend it. It comes with a 1.9GB download, and as of right now, there are no plans for a physical release. Rotwood on the Nintendo Switch 2 is a resounding success that proves that Cly Entertainment just get it. They have created a game that appeals both to adults and kids alike, and for the most part, they have made it so both can enjoy it at varying degrees of challenge. For those who really do struggle, you can continue to grind and slowly build towards overpowering it, and for those veterans out there, you can jump from stage to stage at your earliest convenience to test out the next area. The co-op adds endless fun, plenty of unmitigated disasters in regards to deaths, but it's quirky, wacky, and addictive. As you approach the endgame and the gear grind, there is a steeper learning curve that is undeniably noticeable, and the game demands a level of focus that might be intimidating to casual or younger players, and this is where the co-op comes in to save the day, and that's either local or online, and it's an absolute blast. There is no feeling quite like perfectly timing a series of focused hits with a bow to bring a frenzy boss down while your friends provide cover. Rotwood is a game about growth, precision, and the joy of a well-executed plan. It's a well-crafted brawler that doesn't try to reinvent the wheel. They've taken a solid premise and genre, added that excellent art direction, and just given it a sprinkle of that climb magic we all know and love from Don't Starve and Oxygen Not Included, and they nailed it. Every aspect of the game is smooth, responsive, and fun to engage in. It's simple where it needs to be, and has great pacing, allowing for challenges just as you start to yearn for them. You could argue it might be a little pricey for those of you who aren't familiar with the genre or aren't sure whether to buy it, and a demo could really help here. But overall, it's a great game that kept me glued to the screen for 12 hours, and I'm sure there's many more to come. And that just about wraps up the video. Let me know what you think about the game. Personally, I had an awesome time with it, and I'll continue to load up co-op and have a blast. If you're interested in action brawlers or roguelites, definitely be sure to check it out, you won't regret it. Cly have some serious pedigree and a fantastic sense for art direction. I actually have a European key for Rotwood to give away, so if you're from Europe or the traditional PAL regions, all you need to do is be subscribed to the channel and let me know in the comments what your favourite Cly entertainment game is. There are some gems. You've got Don't Starve, Oxygen Not Included, Mark of the Ninja, Absolute Banger, and Beastie Ball, just to name a few. But yeah, give me your favourite, tell me why you loved it, and be sure to end the comment with Euro in all caps, and I'll pick a winner on Sunday. But with that said, thanks for spending some of your time with me today. Stay cozy, and yeah, I'll see you around.